Hello and welcome back. We are here playing Victoria 3 after a short little, CK thing. We are going to be trying to restart, because our run got killed in Qing, we're going to try and restart much the same way as we did before in the episode we have out, with maybe making some minor adjustments. Someone pointed out that you can, in theory, roll Democrat, I think, on Landowner, and I haven't checked the weightings myself, but I think that they're correct, and so that rolling Landowner is probably better than rolling Jingoist. We tried it a little bit, but the odds seem really, really low for hitting, a Democrat, so they seem really, really low, but we are going to be starting as Great Qing. So the first thing we're going to do is going to be shenanigans with relate to IG leadership, and so we're going to first pull these guys out of government, and then we need to do that in order to have something that can be formed. Yep, of course, we do see the minus approval, and then we will need to fire the one popular guy we have actually starts Jingoist this time. You start off with one popular landowner, and it's one of the naval guys, and so we'll be doing this. And now we will be, we need to recruit a bunch of guys anyways, for our various armies, and what we are looking for is someone who is scholar official and is a Democrat. Haven't seen it so far in attempting to re-roll this a couple times. Someone told me it was possible. I haven't checked the actual weights though, but have yet to see a single one. So what we are going to be doing is recruiting only unpopular scholar officials or landowners or Confucian scholars. Just kind of doing through that, at least right now. We have like kind of a full, in the episode we have like a full explanation of what makes Qing really unique, but I suppose we could go over it again today. We're going to recruit just the unpopular ones. So, let's kind of start a poll. Should we go over what makes Qing unique? And we'll see if people want to do that, and if not, then we won't. Because we do have that in the episode that we just released, and we are trying to get to the point where we can, we're trying to get to the point where we can continue the episode, or the run from a new starting point, which we will be kind of doing step by step today. I guess we'll talk through it when we do it, but we can go through the abolitionists. Hell yeah, brother. We also, if we recruit a Confucian scholar guy, we actually want to get their clout up, so we'll also just promote them to max when we recruit them. Unless we really hate their ideology. Roll folk seems fine. Democrat. So we're trying to roll Democrat. It might be the case that you just cannot roll Democrat on landowner. I'm starting to suspect this is the case, although someone who's generally correct about stuff told me you could, so... And it's not yet on the wiki, and I haven't looked at the defines, so... The truth hurts. Look at the defines if you want to know for sure, I suppose. Or the, whatever the code is, which we could do if we really, really, really wanted to. Okay, so our only popular scholar official is a Jingoist now, so we will settle for our Jingoist boyo. So what we're going to do, it's going to be this gentleman here. We're going to exile. Here, why don't we... We're going to exile the leader of the landowners currently, and we're going to get a Jingoist, which is going to be super nice. But for a lot of runs, you actually just want to look and actually re-roll based on who's in power, but we have a bunch of guys that are already kind of just stuck in. So we're going to exile this guy, we're going to click OK, and the new guys, oh, we didn't check everything. Oh, is there really a pacifist? Son of a bizzle, dude. That's the opposite of what we went in. Bro. Okay, every time we've done this one so far, this guy's been, this gentleman has not been a scholar official. Yeah, let's restart. We are also really curious to see if we can roll a Democrat, but we haven't seen it once, so... can we play something harder, like Chile or, I don't know, Korea? Can we play something harder like Korea? I mean, we could. The problem is I can't continue the run I started unless I play a bunch of great Qing, and so this would actually be really useful for me to be able to get a save file that looks good for this. Is there no solution for the infinite naval evasion wait time? I do not understand the answer from the previous stream. There's no direct solution. Like, if you're trying to land one place and they're just swapping navies on you repeatedly, your navy will get infinitely gummed up. However, you can just land in multiple places at once. This would be kind of the workaround, but, like, yeah, there's still problems. Okay, so we're going to check both of these guys, actually. See, this is what we're used to seeing, the one authoritarian. Oh, now they're both military? Wow, the truth hurts. Alright, so we're going to just check every general, because we were trying to go faster, but rookie mistake, I suppose. We're going to just check every general to make sure. We are looking to see that there's no one popular who is a scholar official and is anything other than a jingoist or a Democrat. We will settle for either one. Reformer. Not popular, so he will not become the leader. Bordered yellow banners, who we're looking at. Okay. Royalist, sure, but not popular. Royalist, but not popular. Royalist, but not popular. Okay. Yeah, has warfare improved, or is it still crap? Well, the system has improved, but the system has a very significant problem right now that makes it kind of crap. And what the problem is you, your subjects will push with their inky-dinky armies. This guy is neutral. This guy is really well-liked. But the thing is, we want to try and see if we can find a Democrat. So let's try and find a Democrat. But I'm starting to suspect you can't roll it on the landowners, and the person who told me was just misinformed, or he did not read the defines. We are looking for a Democrat that's popular. We also kind of prefer defensive strategists, but alright. Well, I think we're going to settle for this jingoist gentleman. Alright, so let's do it. Oh, I forgot it helps for the roll if these guys are already out of government, which we had done before, but we didn't do this time. Alright. Helps for the rolling, and we need to pull them out anyway, so. If we see a Democrat, we'll cry, and then we'll exile the super popular guy we got. So this guy's pacifist. We will not recruit him because he's pacifist and popular. We're going to need 2 generals for each of these. And we would rather not promote the landowner guys. We're looking for devout as well. We would like to increase the cloud of the devout. So this is why we are rolling so many different guys. So now, for example, oh, this guy's even got adamant defense. We will promote him all the way, which is going to slightly massage up the cloud of the devout. And by recruiting a bunch of low-level generals, this effectively gives us more looks at the devout while we resolve the fact that we start off with like 50 million of these. Was that another jingoist? That's popular? Sure. We start off with a ton of these units and not a lot of generals. And you need the general in order to do anything with the unit, so we are doing this. Alright, we get another one. Royalist, but that's not too much a problem. We actually will not get off of the gentleman we have for a while, so we'll do this, and then since our most popular guy is a jingoist, when we exile this guy, we will get a jingoist. Yay! Yay! Alright, let's reform. Get off the most important no social securities. Sounds like you guys do not want us to go over kind of the unique stuff. It's something we've already gone over. And so we will put the construction sectors down where we have the best mapping. We're going to do 10 in Shaanxi in there. And then we'll do 5 in a whole bunch of places, except for Beijing, because kind of they're already running out, that have both coal and iron. Then, we do not have coal and iron in Hainan, but I think we have lead and sulfur. I think there's sulfur Maybe lead in Jian. Eventually we will want to build time Jiangzi. Eventually we will make a manufacturing capital. Shaozhou is coastal and it has iron, and so we'll lean into that a little bit. And I think Urga doesn't have a lot of pops, but does have both coal and iron. These places also have coal and iron, but they have even less pops, if I recall correctly. And then, which is the place that has the most wood? It's one of these four. Alright, we're gonna find it. Which one are you? Yeah, it's this one, and this one also has coal, so we'll also add a smattering here, so that'll be 68, and then we will add, you know, one more for a little flavor in Hebei. Okay, so we have our construction sectors all set up. Now, let's handle this. We hope we just high roll, but we are going to research Romanticism first. We hope we high roll Nat spread. We're not going to re-roll for Nat spread. This would be a perfectly optimal thing. And then we're going to spend a little bit of this. We're going to tax services and tea. And then we are going to float a whole bunch for faster law passes. But we're also going to bolster the Confucian scholars because we do want to get their bonus kind of coming on up. We want to double their bonus. Their bonus is quite strong. Minus 50% radical. If you get this really early, it's very, very easy for you to maintain really high, you know, amounts of loyalists and such. So we're going to want to do that. And then let's see. Diplomacy. We're going to want to do some things. I want to improve relations. And the problem, here's the rub. Tibet is going to... We actually want to accrue an enormous amount of infamy, but we might have to give up on that. We might have to give up on that dream. Yeah, we might have to give up on the high infamy dream. So what you want to generally do, as a rule of thumb, is you are going to get we are going to get the Opium Crisis event, and we're going to fight Great Britain. They're very aggressive this patch. And after we fight them, we will want to not start any fights for 5 years. Otherwise, we'll have to fight them again. I suppose maybe we can just be okay fighting them again. Huh. Alright, but we'll annex them, I guess. This will be 10 infamy. I guess maybe we want to save before we do this. So we'll save, just so because we have everything all set up. It took us like 5 or 6 minutes in case something goes horribly wrong, and then we'll annex these guys. We'll go to Zhili, and then we will conscript up to max level. They will say no, F you. We'll say mobilize. And in this way, we will avoid the subject bug, because we won't have any subjects joining the wars with us. Can you teach us optimal army composition? I'm not even 100% sure what it is. But we are going to do, we're going to have 3 different types of armies. We're going to have armies for landings, which are going to be half cavalry, half, you know, infantry. We're going to have armies for pushing, which are going to be half cannons, half infantry. And then we're going to have armies for defending that are going to be, you know, entirely infantry. The defending armies will be extremely small. And numerous, and then the pushing armies will be really big, but we'll only have a couple, and then same with the landing armies will be small, and we'll only have a couple, and this is going to be kind of the plan. But we'll annex Tibet here. Because if you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it, so we want to do this. Korea also has really good territory, so we do want to annex them eventually, so we are going to have to make them a vassal, but we would prefer not to have a vassal for the war with the UK, I think. So, Opium Crisis, we tell them to kick rocks, we have to do something. And now, if we can get them to positive enough relations, then they actually can't dow us, but, yeah. And once we get all these finished, we will actually switch to, steel frame here, or iron frame here. And this will cause us to have an iron shortage. We're going to do the, or it doesn't cause a shortage, not yet at least. But we're going to start, you know, kind of massaging in some imports already. Something like this. I know one of them is from Britain. Because we want to ramp up construction as fast as possible, and if you stop to build the iron, that's going to make it take more time, and so this is going to be much faster. Even though it's economically inefficient, we're not worried about money at this point in time, because like we're getting ready to increase taxes to max levels, so we want to just get to like 400, 500, 600 construction as quickly as possible. One thing that is also broken, it couldn't station units in Zhejiang while Britain had so the stationing troops didn't work. How important is morale a reg for your military, you can boost it with additional supplies. Is it good for the economy? It's going to be good, especially good for us, because one of the things we're going to be leaning into for this run is going to be this minus military goods cost. They still... so what happens is the minus military goods cost, especially if we double this bonus, it's going to be a free money modifier, and so we are going to want to turn on all of the like production methods, or not production methods, mobilization options. We get an enact homesteading thing here. We get, I think this is super lucky that we got this agitator, to be honest. Huh. I'm not even sure we want to go homesteading. Scholar officials aren't terrible, to be honest. But it's very interesting. Alright, so we don't really have that big an advantage here. I think we already mobilized the army, so let's mobilize these guys. We're going to add some conscripts to them as well. We're going to do here, I guess. And then we are going to mobilize the conscripts and move them to the front as well. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty slow going with this war. And now we are going to ban... once this ticks beyond... here. Oh, the UK can't get swayed in here either way. So we're going to ban the opium trade here, which decreases the amount of authority we have. So we will stop taxing this, just so we can get more law passes. If you're already at 100 righteous government, you will be, like, you will have minus 25% enactment time. The more the modifier you have, the more valuable it is, so we're just going to float the authority rather than spending it. Also, we are spreading out our economy because we are going to run out of infrastructure. We're spreading out all these construction sectors, so since we're not building in a single place, you know, we're not going to benefit as much from using the decrees for road maintenance or, like, resource industries or manufacturing, at least at this juncture. Those will be a big part of our strategy later once we get onto, you know, having railways, but this is not going to be a thing. What are we not spreading? Did we get lucky? No, we did not. Super lucky is when you not spread stock exchange, and then you active research romanticism. In theory, if you want to have the most optimal role, you would do this. I'm going to go journal entry. Oop. Oh, we already banned it. Alright, cool. Oh, did we just reset it? Damn it, we're stupid. Okay, the truth hurts. And then I think we could go speed 5. And then we're going to declare on Portugal if the UK doesn't declare on us in this time. We could also move the capital to Jiangxi. Maybe we should have done this. This is what, so there's like 3 strategies you can use to win the Opium War. One is using cannons, which is like, we're going to be doing that either way. But one is moving the capital. You can move it really far inland, which makes it really hard for the UK to enforce on you. We're not going to quite do that, especially if they put a treaty port like on the coast. They can still just land the treaty port. And then the final way is you can declare on Portugal to create a front. And you want to take back Macau anyways, and so by creating the front there, it's going to be useful. Now, peasant levies, we're just going to go pro-army, because this limits us to a regular in line, cannon artillery, mobile artillery, and hussars. And so while we actually would want to stack this minus military goods cost modifier, I don't think it's quite worth it. It limits the primary PM so much. I mean, maybe in the short term it's worth it, and then we could use mobilization options to, like... We could have, like, line infantry. It doesn't limit support equipment, so we could have line infantry with, like, machine guns and chemical weapons and, like, this type of stuff. And maybe there's something here. But I know that in our thing that we were... The starting steps we already made, we didn't do this. I'm inclined to think you don't do this. And so we are going to utilize our jingoist, which this is the whole idea behind rolling a jingoist, to get rid of peasant levies. Alright. And again, we're going to pass stuff really fast. We have a huge movement for enact homesteading, which we can lean into, because this guy is going to be really happy because he's a jingoist and we already rolled the thing. So we maybe go homesteading here. This is not going to be very much the same as our kind of initial start at all, though, if we do that. Which is, oh, we forgot to incorporate all the states. There's a 10 Mappy Malice to not being incorporated, and we have a bunch of extra bureaucracy anyways, so this is gonna be good for us. Just say you love us enough. Free Tibet? How about not? Alright, we're gonna propose the deal. we're going to go to Russia, say, hey, Russia, aren't you willing to trade a state? You know, Alaska for Qing Tomsk. Yep, you would. Great. Declare interests. We are going to move one of these interests to the Rhine, because then we can trade with both Prussia and France. Someone pointed that out in the comments. Shout out to someone. And then we're going to do that, maybe. Something like this. And then we're going to catch up with chat a little bit here. So, but I think what we're going to do now is we also need to think a little bit, because I'm not sure if we want to... I think we want to declare on Portugal here. But if the UK is not going to declare us, I mean, we could just sit and chill. We could just sit and chill. We could chill out here. Or we could declare on Portugal. Or we could declare on Portugal for Macau. To get a truce with them. I mean, we want Macau anyways. Oh, now you guys want me to explain what's up? Okay. We'll catch up with chat and then explain what's up. Are there any good mapping states in South America? Yes, there are. In Ecuador, you have this. I think this is like the only one that comes to mind in particular. That is a spectacularly good. I mean, Lima's okay. You don't have the coal, but you have everything else, right? So, but I think it's that. I think that's what you're looking at. There used to be one, but it got nerfed into the ground. But with the new latest tools PM requiring rubber, it's perhaps the case that Para, you know, with the rubber plantations is like pretty solid because of the rubber. So this is maybe where you're gonna like kind of want to lean into. One thing that is broken. Are we going for Alaska? Yeah, we just did Alaska. How important is morale? Let's see. How do you become a trading nation? Trade kind of sucks this patch. Why are you restarting? Because the run got killed. The run got killed by a bug. Not sure. I think what caused the bug was us merging and deleting armies, and so we're not going to do it this time, and we're going to try and get about to where we were before, a little bit further. So the first starting steps is completely lost. Yeah, completely bricked. I mean, I could show you guys, but it just like hard on the exact same date. It hard closes no matter what I do. So. Yeah. If you make tiny fleets, you can block the UK from naval invading you, since tiny fleets get repaired instantly. This is true. We could also just use the Portugal trick. Is local prices making money disappear? Yes. It kills your ability to generate value through having positive profits by decreasing the amount of positive profits. I think there's one in Colombia. There might be. Let's take a look. I think you're right. I think there's like one, right? So this one, yeah. So there's this as well. But this is kind of it. Playing Italy, trying to invade Libya, you had issues with Ottoman and Spanish Navy stop you from landing no matter what you did. Yeah, you have to, like... It's very tedious, but you have to land multiple spots at once, I guess. So is Grenada. Good one in Grenada. Oh, yeah. So this was already mentioned. So, kind of coming back to several unique things about China. Although someone said sericulture, so the first one is the sericulture tech, which my understanding is no one else has, but someone told me Walahi has sericulture, so that's news to me. I was not aware of this, and that's pretty interesting. You also have several unique IG situations. The most notable ones being you have minus radicals from standard living decreases on these guys, which is actually why we're bolstering these guys. We're going to look to lean into them quite a bit. And you also have this very interesting modifier. I don't know how good it is, minus 15% military goods cost. I think that this is decent and it could maybe be good for hyper late game economy, stimulating the economy, because this is a free money modifier. If we buy 100 cost worth of, tanks, 100 will get paid to the building. We'll only pay 70, so that it injects 30 of free money, into the economy. So that's a very interesting one. And then also we have a situation where schools and healthcare systems. The Confucian scholars and the literati don't care about those at all, and the literati doesn't care about us being on state religion, and we have enormous population, so we probably actually go lean into religion, and so this is kind of an interesting thing. Minas Gerais too. Minas Gerais does not have coal, if I recall correctly. Yeah, no coal. But gold, I mean, it's definitely a really good state. It's going to be one of the better ones in South America. Just the thing is, South America is not that great. So, I guess we take a save and we go for Portugal here. And then after this, we can reduce autonomy on Korea. So we're going to take Treaty Port Macau. There's a chance that they just back down, but what we're going to do is we are going to conscript up with a bunch of these guys and get mobilizing and conscripting at the very start. There's also currently what is effectually, it's not a, well, it's not what they, this game system currently doesn't work the way that they want, which is that how it works is even if you're running the shortage of cannons, it doesn't matter. You still get the full benefit of the cannons, and so we really don't even have to worry about sourcing the cannons. We're just going to pay the plus 75 for it. It's going to get paid into the Shadow Realm, but it doesn't matter because we're going to get our cannon boys. And we're just putting in 25 conscripts on each unit, and then you know, mobilizing those conscripts. And if they back down here, that also like works for us because we are still getting 5 years apiece, so doesn't have to be consecutive years. And so we're mostly we'll continue doing more of these. We actually do need more troops. These guys are gonna suffer because where did we put these? All right. Or did we not assign? Yeah. Alright, let's make sure we're raising all the conscripts. This is mainly the point. Because conscripts take forever to raise. That's why we're raising them now. We're expecting the UK to join in this war. We're expecting Portugal to back down in the face of, like, this many troops. But mainly expecting the UK to join like it normally does. It does join. And now we're going to switch all these guys to defend. We're actually, two of these guys we're just gonna defend. We're just gonna station them at the HQs so we don't get landed. And then the rest of the guys we're gonna split on defend. I wish there was a faster way to swap everyone. Adamant defense, sure, bud. Adamant defense, nice. I think we have enough conscripts mobilized. Maybe we'll do one more wave of these guys, these cannon artilleries. These cannon artilleries have 5 more defense than our irregulars, which is why we're recruiting a ton of cannon artillery, even though we are just planning on defending only, so. And why don't we actually put this guy at an HQ? What is the war goal here? Oh, they just side? So no matter what the UK, like... the UK is not even getting anything out of this. That's crazy. We could transfer state to Korea, give them an obligation. I don't think we're going to do any of that. But now we can put in on... British war reparations, forced recognition of Great Qing. There's maybe some sort of strategy where we don't do this, and then we're also going to go to a diplomacy tab, declare interests. Do that. And then I'm gonna station these guys here. We have a few units we haven't even brought up yet, but we're mainly just gonna be stationing it in the capital. We have one station in South China just in case we need to do anything weird there. And then this unit will land over here and we will be set. Can you make use of the Period Tabak company is Qing is Persia. It sucks. I don't know exactly what company that is. What does that company do? So because the company doesn't ring a bell, it probably sucks. I think I know all the really good companies by him. What does it say? You can add units to the army. One unit had 38 plus 2. I believe that's because the battalions are in there, but they haven't fully recruited up. Like, they're trying to recruit soldiers into the barracks, and so I think this is why it's like that. Confucian scholar is now powerful. So we decreased the clout of... On the law pass, that law pass decreased the clout of the scholar officials, so I think that's why they had a bit of a come up. We'd really like to make this guy happy, but he just likes monarchy, and so there's nothing doing in terms of being able to make him happy. We could maybe go for this. Scholar officials would hate it, but they're happy enough with us that they would tolerate this. And so the question is do we want to lean out of the scholar officials? And I think we actually really like the 20% aristocrats bonus investment pool contribution efficiency, at least at this point in time. How much support is there? 27. And then we could do something like this. So we would have 35% ticks. We would roll a ton of negative events. We would lose our bonus. But long term, this is probably better. Actually, long term, it might not be better. We're going to get so much investment pool from the scholar officials. Let's actually not do this. We would maybe swing for tenant farmers, but not homesteading, I think. Like, it's going to make such a huge economic difference, especially when we get onto... Because we're growing agrarianism. Yeah, I think we don't do this. It's so tempting because of normal play patterns, but for Qing it's probably not worth. Alright, and then... We're going to conquer British Guyana as well. We could conquer the Portuguese Sunda Islands. Liberate Columbia District, probably not worth. Trying to think if there's any place we should move our interest to take stuff explicitly from Great Britain. I mean, we could take this. That's really not... I don't think that's worth it at this point, because it's not going to full cut off. We kind of do want to accumulate a little bit more infamy, but I don't want to take the Sunda Islands, so... I guess we maybe go for Portuguese war reps. Let's let it tick over kind of a little bit. Yeah, these guys will just put a bunch of troops here and they probably won't land us. I guess maybe we'll just... Wait, or these guys are already mobilized, they're just... okay. Oh, this is the guy. So there's a ton of guys here. We're going to be ready to catch a landing. We will also, after we land here, bring the troops back in order to prevent a naval landing of theirs, so let's up the speed. Wouldn't spamming Courier be better than cannons once you have pro-army? Probably. Yeah, it would be. We've already spammed the cannons, though. And we wanted to also get those guys mobilized, right? So, the timing is also relevant. Like, I would rather have the guys already all mobilized now than, like, wait for couriers and not know if we're necessarily going to hit what we want. We're gonna execute the smugglers. Smell you later. Smuggle you later. Alright, so it's looking like they're going to be able to push into us a little bit here, so we're going to take a look at maybe raising... So let's switch these to cuirassiers. And the new guys, we're going to conscript up. We can also add way more conscripts, huh? I forgot which unit we're kind of taking a look at here. We also have to upgrade all of our guys to cuirassiers now. And we notably cannot reorganize these armies, I don't think. Otherwise, I think we're gonna encounter the bug again. Oh my god. We have to do it. Yeah, we have to use our brain. Using the brain is hard. Liang Hu. And then we, oh man, it hurts so bad because deleting military is so good. Like, but we're just not going to be able to do it. I think we're already, oh, we're clicking the wrong buttons too. Jesus. Not like this, chat. Not like this. We can't man. The fact that we can't merge or move around armies, I think, without encountering the bug is going to be so painful, but it is what it is. Alright, we'll just try that. Wow, we really minus 50 here? What the hell? Alright, let's double check some of these. Yeah. Our conscripts, we didn't get too many conscripts up. That is a loud car. If they never try landing, we might also move some of these mobilized guys we have over here over to here. Because really, like... Or did you guys just not get on the fronts? Oh my god. I mean, that explains everything, huh? Alright, let's double check that everyone's on defense. You are not. Playing Blue Banner. Okay. I think we're in good shape now. Yeah, okay. So, we want to spend our authority if we're not going to be passing a law. I think we'll just put in some taxes with the understanding that we're probably going to get rid of these taxes pretty soon here. I don't know why transportation's taxable, considering we have no production of it, but this seems to be a bug, but we're just going to tax it anyways, because it's generating revenue, allegedly, ostensibly, ecumenically, spiritually. I think we should have more than 7 defense, but whatever. They have no... The reason we picked this is because they have no navy, and also gold appears here. Also oil later. Shout out to the loud noise. The Persian company gives you 20% tax spread. Oh, I think it's just worth it to pay for more universities. The price of universities is like, it increases linearly. It's not that big a cost to increase. The fact that you're not getting a better company is more expensive to you than just building more universities. But you need 4 profitable plantations. Yeah, the race car. First loud car outside. Shout out to the loud car. Vroom vrooms in chat. You always get the naval invade behind them. Yeah, so we're going to be moving the... We're going to be... Once these guys succeed, now we are going to move these guys back. Over here. And we're going to move the fleet back over here. Just in case we're going to need to reland them. But we're going to look to enforce out the UK and just wait. So... It's going to be a bit of a waiting game. What's the bug? There's several bugs. We have to be more specific than that. The kind of big ones are that... oh yeah, I'm not sure which bug I was talking about when I mentioned a bug. But, oh, the bug that killed the run? It just hard crashed. I think it has to do with if we're merging or deleting armies, it does this, and so we're just not going to merge or delete any armies. But yeah, we're just winning all these defensive battles now, and so... Because we just have an overwhelmingly large amount of troops, and we have all the war goals on the UK, so while these guys cannot be enforced below 0, the UK can, and so we're just going to enforce out the UK and then push Portugal and enforce out Portugal. We should have put in war reps on Portugal, but it's not too big a deal. You should contact your local government to measure the decibels. Well, the local government sold out to big loud car, so yeah, there are sound barriers. That's with the sound barriers. You're waiting for Vicky 4? Based. Glorified clicker game. Urban centers produce transportation even when no... Oh, do they really? Oh. That's new. Okay. Hey, and we're about done with this construction. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start putting in on iron. We're going to put it in on Yunnan. Hebei, Shaanxi, North Outer, Shaozhou, and then we're gonna put all these on auto expand. Oh my god, I forgot we gotta fix our PMs at the start, at game start. There's like not a lot of PMs that we have to fix as China, because not a lot of them are just like off at the start, but some of them are. That's gonna cause us problems. We're gonna figure out where we want to put the hardwood. I think we're gonna want to put hardwood in GNZ here, so we're gonna add a couple of these and focused hardwood. And let's see. Oh no, we're out of hardwood. We'll just import it from Russia for now. It's like not very good to do this, but this will just smooth things out. Because right now we do have a lot of demand for various things, and we're looking to just make sure that we you know, don't run shortages and just increase construction as quickly as possible. We just pay plus 75 for the cannons, and it's not a big deal. Although, if we have profitable routes, I mean, I guess we'll... Like, these routes are barely profitable, we'll just leave it alone. Because it doesn't negatively affect us. On future patches, I'm expecting it to negatively affect us, at which point we will actually do something about it, but for now, we'll just kind of wait. Dutch East Indies side with the Netherlands based. Alright. Yep, just a waiting game now. Just a waiting game. Also, we are going to reduce autonomy in Korea once this is over. We didn't do it before because we did not want them to be pushing the front into, like, a cheese grater. So, yeah. Came for the Qing, came for the open window memes. That's all. This is truly what the channel is, to be honest. Alright, what do you want? Ooh, transfer states? You don't say. Transfer Dutch, Nigerian, Delta. Hell yeah, brother. That's going to be good because it's going to give us a native interest. That's actually going to be spectacular for us. Where are our interests declared? I guess we don't need this one anymore. I guess we'll put it in Indochina. Something like this. And let's also make sure we have one level 1 wood place, chop chop, in all the areas that we have built out some of these things. And then we're going to put the wood on auto expand as well. It's going to catch a little bit more stuff than we want, but we're also just kind of looking to play quickly here. And let's up the taxes because we are losing money now, and we wanted to get to high taxes at some point anyways here. And Shaanxi might be the next, or actually we're probably going to focus Hebei next, just because Hebei can actually take on the ports. So, and then we'll just capitulate, smell you later. And then, I think we said we were gonna auto-expand and then we never did. Because we were liars. Nope, just kidding, we're not liars. Shout out to us. Alright, we enforce on them, and now we switch to advancing. We're gonna save now, just in case, like, our game starts crashing later, actually. This is kind of a critical moment here. But we're gonna start pushing these guys. And they're already on the front, so they should get a nice push in, and we got what we were waiting for. So we're going to put in the rural folk. Let's go, bud. We're going to look to keep above 90% clout, so we're not going to increase taxes right now, and we're going to go on to Agrarianism. We are also, we're going to float extra authority here in order to make that kind of go away, or pass faster, rather. We're going to do some of that action. Oh, yikes. And then we are going to see what we're not spreading. Alright, we're going to research. And getting off traditionalism is the main concern because of the mapping. But also, you can see here, it's going to be minus 15% mappy. This is, of course, why we're researching stock exchange. But agrarianism in particular is going to give us plus 50%. Plus 50% aristocrats contribution efficiency, and currently if we look at our investment pool contribution, we're actually getting a ton, and the way we're getting it, or the place we're getting the reinvestment from, is the sub-farms. And the sub-farms, who are they owned by? Who are the sub-farms owned by, you ask? I heard you ask. They're owned by the aristocrats. So this is going to massively increase this contribution efficiency. So, yeah. Is hardwood not efficient anymore? It is super efficient. The problem is it's disgustingly efficient, so it gets super depressed in price. So I mean, what we're really going to want to do is we're going to want to have like hardwood output in specific spots, like the capital in particular is going to be nice. But spots where we have furniture manufacturing, I guess we can. And if I recall correctly, we actually don't have any place except for Beijing that has furniture or arms industries that also has wood at the game start. So. It's going to be more one we kind of solve later, to be honest, but it is disgustingly efficient. I mean, and we also have this one set using hardwood. Alright, enactment chance plus 10%, we almost certainly want that. We can afford a huge bureaucracy hit right now, it's not a big deal. And we will look to move. I think we actually are going to want to build tooling workshops here. Please tell me we're on wrought iron tools. Yeah, we are. And then industry, we're going to put tooling workshops down in all the places that we have built up in. Just going to put down a level 1. And then I think we're going to put these all on auto-expand. Beijing starts with I guess Gansu we would not want on auto-expand, but this is kind of the only one. And so we will come in here. We're going to put this on auto-expand, and then we're going to take out Gansu specifically. And that should be pretty good for us. Portugal will get enforced on. Guangdong Treaty Port, proposed deal. Thanks. Big nice. Reduced autonomy, you will accept. And now we just chill. So now I guess we're going to save chill time. And this is just in case the run somehow gets bricked by something we do, but we are going to look to get through chill time here. Card Santa plus Qing are the Great Wall of Souls' best opener in the game. Well, I hope the day's been good. Also doing a China run, thanks to you. The UI to advanced fronts is so bad, it's incredible. Yeah, I mean, it's not... I would not call it ideal. Man, I really want to deal with, like, this absolute mess of, like, units, but we do not want to delete or merge any armies. We're not going to even rename them, to be honest, because I think this might be the cause of the problem, but... Okay. So, we're not going to get another company anytime soon. Stock Exchange is currently researching. What we're actually going to do is we are going to build a level 1 uni. Now, normally I advocate against this, but we have a literacy of 15%. We're not going to get public education anytime soon, and so qualifications will actually be an issue. And so what we're going to do in all the areas where we had started kind of building up, we are going to put down a level 1 university. With the exception of the capital, we'll put down a level 5. And this is for qualifications reasons. We're putting down these level 1 unis, but also we want to push the unis right now anyways. We're losing a little bit of money, but it's not too big a deal. And then because usually when you get about 200 construction is kind of where the point where I like to build unis to economies of scale. Then we're actually we're gonna build this one to economies of scale, but then at the front of the queue we're gonna completely finish out these ports, and then we're gonna not expand too much in the capital because we are having issues with sure, I guess we're having issues with things. We're having issues with infrastructure, at least in the capital. We might have to put down an edict, but that's not too big a deal. Law debate success, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, notably, this strategy only seems really good for Qing, because Qing has the only landowners who don't hate agrarianism versus traditionalism, so this law pass is super easy, and it's, they start on traditionalism, so you want to get off of it, and they have this absolute they have this disgusting level of reinvestment off the back of their subsistence farms, so kind of all that combined, really. I think we start swapping up. I think we swap up where these are the places where we actually have a decent amount of iron. We're gonna swap up there, and then we're gonna look and we're gonna cry. Okay, we're not running a deficit. As long as we're not running a deficit, we're up to 200 construction now, so we're just gonna keep on keeping at it. The wood is we would maybe prefer more iron than wood here, but I think it's gonna be fine. Running a bit of a deficit, law debate failed, big sad. I wish you could just right-click the army and change the order. Yeah. Why do you always go for agrarianism, or would you always go for agrarianism or wait for interventionism? Agrarianism is actually better right now. We would rather do that. What's the optimal navy for heavy lights composition for naval landings? I'm not sure. This would require more testing. I mean, the heavies will help you win battles, but I think that you want to land in multiple places with the current iteration of the fact that they will just cycle navies through you, and so I think just having more ships might be better. But heavies have good consumption, they stimulate the economy, but notably, you can't upgrade the base heavies. You can't upgrade, I think you cannot upgrade the man-of-wars to ironclads, so I would not build any man-of-wars at any point in time, but you can upgrade the frigates to monitors or whatever it is. Or submarines, which makes less sense, but go figure. We see that we've got a little bit extra authority here, so we're going to go decrees, and I think we are going to need road maintenance. We don't need road maintenance yet in the capital, so we are instead going to come in here and do we want harvesting tool? Butchering tools probably, but labor saving PMs aren't going to quite cut it yet. But we'll come in here and we will tax, not the liquor, not the opium, but we will tax the tea. And we still have a plus 25% float. I think that we need to have that, so we'll have the rural folk extend an open arm, at least while we're passing agrarianism. We do want to get onto that faster. The hard times. We're not running any decrees, but I think we can. Alright, let's do road maintenance in Shaanxi. And then look to kind of come up here. And then we'll switch to resource ones. Outmoded economics, the truth hurts. Alright. There we go. I think we'll put in a coal mine in a couple spots. And then we'll look to turn on the coal PMs in the places that we slap down a couple of these as well. Once we get in there that deep. Monument to the Emperor, hell yeah, brother. Man, we're absolutely flying here. I notice you have more admirals in one fleet. It splits the navy, so make sure you only have one admiral when going for a landing. Really? That's kind of obnoxious. The reason we have multiple admirals is because we started with multiple admirals, but also we've been kind of moving that direction because when one dies and you don't notice it, it's really obnoxious. You can upgrade to ironclads from man-of-wars, then my game was bugged when I was playing Brazil. Would you go for companies first or mutual funds? Companies or mutual funds? What do you mean? We're talking about corporate charters or... I'm confused. I'm not sure. You're talking when we get down to here? Would I go for investment banks or mutual funds first? Probably investment banks. If that's the question. But we'll get a company before then. Nice. And we should start flying. We're gonna hit the cap pretty quick, to be honest, because we have really terrible literacy, and that's not gonna be fixed anytime soon. What is our infamy? Okay, so we have a little bit of a choice here. We have no infamy. We want infamy. But this will pause the opium crisis, and the UK can and will side against us pretty aggressively. I think we're just supposed to chill here, because it's not like we have a tremendous military. I mean, I think we can fight them. I'm not sure exactly what we're supposed to do here. Actually, why don't we not fight them, just because we're trying to set it up kind of in a way similar, where it's a little bit similar to what we had before in terms of our situation. Okay. These guys only a Dominion? Yeah, okay. We actually kind of prefer that. Well, we kind of really want Brunei, huh? Don't we? Yeah. Maybe they'll back down. We're declaring a lot of these interests to hope to piggyback on wars. I'll do some of that. I think we just can't do it. We're going to declare on either Gaza or Zulu here. I hope that deleting military doesn't create a problem, but I think we're going to use this guy for landing, so we're going to upgrade the... We're going to change this guy's appearance. Hopefully this doesn't crush the run. Oh, it didn't change the appearance. The truth hurts. So we didn't click confirm. Alright. Lancers can't be upgraded to Lancers. Didn't we change everything to Cuirassiers? Or whatever. Lancers is kind of what we want long term anyways. You can establish a uni. Hell yeah, brother. Alright. I'm gonna take a save and go for Zulu. I think we just conquer it, because otherwise it's 20 years. And this is your standard meta. And this will leave us vulnerable to having to fight the UK again, but I think it's fine. We really, if you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it, so we're gonna do that because we want to be floating up here a little higher. Belgium wants a trade agreement. I mean, I don't think so. Don't hate getting one with Russia, though. We have a lot of trade volume. And this is going to make them thumb our pies a little bit less aggressively long term. Because they do want Manchuria. We get a little bit of an unlucky tick there, so... maybe you make tributaries if they accept the demand? Yeah, without going to war? No, this is fair. I consider that as well, but I think we want to lean away from subjects a little bit, to be honest. Subjects seem like actually not that good to have. Alright. So we'll do some of this. We will not delete any military. So we've gotten further than we have before, so I think Maybe just deleting or merging armies is something we can't do, but we can change the number of units in each army. This is going to be big nice, the 10% market access price impact. So once we get on agrarianism, we will have some places that have 90%. We see return state. This is why we wanted our interest in Arabia, primarily. So we can sway to either side of this, and so we might thumb a little bit of a pie here. Alright, so what would you like? War goals, diplomatic pacts, obligations, okay. War goals, diplomatic, transfer subjects. Transfer subject, big nice. We could transfer home. Big nice indeed, huh? We're not, these aren't going to be useful for us. Diplo pact, trade agreement, war goals. I don't think we actually want to get involved in this then. Yeah, they're really sticky about not wanting to transfer states. We could also go for Persia. The problem, I don't think we can get in on Persia that easy, so... Are you telling me we lose in this fight? You telling me we lose in this fight? The truth hurts. Oh no, just kidding. The truth doesn't hurt. The truth will set you free instead. But yeah, we just want to keep decaying. Notably, our starting leader is actually, like, decent. Because he has the careful trait. So, like... We don't even want to get off of this stuff anyways, which gives minus 20% infamy generation. Shout out to our economy. Taking a little bit of a bump. I think that's off the back of stock exchange. We'll take another pretty big one on agrarianism. And I think we're going to look to swap another place on over. I think we're going to swap Shaanxi, because we're building a bunch of iron mines here. We're going to swap these over to iron frame buildings, which is going to cause a shortage, which is... not the end of the world, because we should be able to, yeah, the imports just increase in number. We still have opportunities. With this level, with this price of iron, we still, every time we build an iron mine, it's still going to be wildly profitable, because the imports do hurt our profits, and this is just allowing us to swap up the construction faster. Now that we've gotten that, let's take a look at Paul Allen's investment pool. Or wait, here. Not the pool itself, the change. This is just, this started growing a whole bunch more than it did before, is gonna be what happens, but overall it's not gonna be that great. Alright. Let's see Paul Allen's investment pool. Alright. We could go homesteading now. The problem is scholar officials will be not happy with us. Kind of, and we don't want to go homesteading. We would want to go tenant, maybe. Free trade would be preferable here. I think we just kind of chill out and maybe reform the government to put the Confucian scholars in. You generate more loyalists with the guys in government. We do want to get these guys up to getting this, after which loyalists and radicals will kind of be much less of an issue. So maybe we'll take a save and go for Transvaal. Of course, the UK can take a run-in on this play, because they have an interest in the region, but they didn't interfere with the Zulu one. Maybe the fact that we're recognized is substantive enough. Let's see, do they have gold? Nope, but they do. So, conquer state, Transvaal. Give us that. Give us the cheddar. We want it. So we'll do that. How big is your military? Not very big at all. Cool. We love to hear it. We're still making money, and I think we can, yeah, so I think we're gonna do some of this action, and Yunnan as well, which is going to cause, I forgot, when we swap off traditionalism, we do encounter that. Not a big deal. We will just come in. We have insufficient taxes everywhere, so we're just going to go to Nanjing, because Beijing has infra problems, and they've already max expanded the ports. Nanjing and Suzhou, we will put these both past 21, and Hainan, we will not, because we want the infrastructure in Hainan, but Guangdong, we will also put past 21, and this should solve the bureaucracy problem. We're going to benefit hugely from what is it, Central Archives when we get there, but, okay. Is this Xi Jinping's dream run? That is an interesting spelling of Xi. The bug where you win any war if you hit Alt F4 is so crazy. Yeah, based. CCP run. You can look at it in the construction tab. What can we look at in the construction tab? Building a ton of iron here. I think we have some of these coal mines coming on up that we started a while ago. We're going to put them on auto expand. I think we had one in Yunnan as well. We're going to put it on auto expand. Blessed are the meek. Loyalists from standard of living increases. Well, we don't need this modifier because we're about to have 100% for that, so we're going to do that one. Super nice. And we'll annex Transvaal here. Still decaying the infamy. If you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it. TBH. Starting to get more and more of these places. We're going to switch Outer Manchuria to Ironframe. We're going to do some of this there. We can also build ports there. So let's actually check. Do we have any place with not enough infra that we can put down a port? We do in Hape Bay. We're going to do that. We also do in Alaska, so we're going to do that. Shout out to the frigid north. On the investment pool. Yeah, but I want to see how the reinvestment changed. I mean, before the sub rice patties were at like 90k and now they're at 150, so I guess that like kind of tells you where we're at. So we're just getting like plus 50k in revenue off that swap in addition to, you know, the positive mapping changes, so we don't want the irregulars that we have acquired from Zulu, so we're going to kind of come in here. Do that. We want to annex as quickly as possible so we can actually get a tick down on the opium crisis. Super glad that we didn't crash here though, so now we can kind of continue the run. Alright, proposed peace deal. Faith knows no borders, the truth hurts. Oh, we love them getting approval. Yes, so now the Confucian scholars, we are getting minus 100% radicals from standard living decreases, which is just going to be absolutely spectacular. Oh, it's going to be big nice. I think we don't need to declare war. We're just going to chill here for a little bit. And we don't want homesteading. It's unfortunate these guys don't support anything in terms of schools or health systems. We really do want to get on public health like as quickly as possible. I think we're starting to get to the point where we want to keep swapping these things. And we are moving on up. Isn't it romantic? Can we make it more realistic? Girlfriend asks, do you love me? You're like, I tolerate you. And then she's like, Probably don't need this iron mine. Gold's super nice. Will also allow us to use the gold company kind of when we get there. Coming on up a little bit. Alright, so now we have... Let's see. We're not going to want to research atmospheric engine all the way. Instead, what we're going to want to do is research it to about here, and then switch to lathe. The reason we're doing this is so that we can effectively force our natural spread into lathe, whereas if we researched lathe first, there would be no way to force our natural spread into atmospheric engine. But we're kind of well on our way here, so we're going to come in to the resources tab and go coal mines, and we're going to put down coal mines in all the areas that we notably know that we have places that are going to be auto-expanding. And then we're going to come in on the rural, and we're going to put these on auto-expand. That way we can swap atmospheric engine pump. We also do see that we are running out of infrastructure in a couple places, and so we were going to kind of add these in a few spots where we know infrastructure is a problem, because the lighting will give us a little bit of infrastructure. It'll create some demand for the coal, so the coal will actually employ up, and it should solve the problems that we are having. They should all be, yeah, on auto-expand. Spreading this out is, like, kind of tedious, but it's going to be important. Is it the Gold Digger run? No, we're going to do a different Gold Digger run with Transvaal. So are we pruning Transvaal out of the timeline? Basically. Have you ever tried a World Conquest run? No. I know it's going to sound racist, but when you start to name Chinese provinces, it sounds like a really tangled pile of Christmas lights. Oof. Someone's not used to Chinese. Why don't you want to use the Zulu troops? We would rather just source them from China. We're going to run out of labor here. We're not going to run out of labor in China. Also, it's probably more disciplined in terms of habit because it's going to be harder to disconnect this, or it's going to be harder to disconnect mainland China from our market than this. And so if we run into problems regarding not having enough resources, it's going to be like on these troops type of thing. Also, we have like a disgusting amount of troops. Maybe the army with the 38 units has caused the bug. It says 38 plus 2 in actual units, but the units don't exist. Maybe. I don't know. We haven't crashed yet. You played Qing yesterday, Lucas? Very nice. Besides the 1% mortality and the pollution impact, is there a major downside to using charity hospitals? They're hard to swap off of. They can be a little sticky. So who do you use to pass public health system? You generally use the devout. We can't because our devout's weird, but you generally use the devout. The devout prefer charity hospitals, so it's going to be hard for you to swap to public, and public's considerably better. You got recognition by declaring on the Ottomans Russia will join with 20+ relations. Ooh, interesting. We got recognition off of... Are they even a GP? Interesting. I mean, we could try and threaten people now. Maybe we should be trying to threaten people. A lot of Han irregulars. Where's the line infantry? Alright, we're gonna move. It hurts, but we're gonna delete these. We don't have line infantry yet. That's kind of weird that it lets us use the line infantry, but... We'll do some of that. We're starting to get enough tools that the tool PMs are becoming more attractive. I think we can swap up some more of these now. It's quite a few swaps. Currently building up the government administration. Progressing well on our way to the opium crisis being over. I think we're not... I think we maybe want to go after Orania. Where are we nat spreading right now? We don't even have that much nat spread, but I think we're going to swap to this, and then mech tools, and then railways. Something like this. Once we get railways, I think we 21 a university here in Jiangxi as well. Misfired cannons. You know, every once in a while you misfire a little bit and then you get syphilis. The truth hurts. Am I the only one who used borderline genocide tactics? Wow. I mean, killing the pups is... not ideal. Hey Alexis, how's it going? How you back? How are you not worried about the bureaucracy levels? Because it's just it's 8% tax waste, and we're concerned enough that we're addressing it. But it's like, it kills money, it's not the end of the world, but like, us expanding construction faster is like more important than bureaucracy. Kind of. Is it profitable to build liquor and food industry buildings? Yes. Is it good to get homesteading early as Qing? I want to be able to get it by 1840 with some lucky procs. We are choosing not to do it, because we actually want to go Agrarianism, because we care about this plus 50% aristocrats contribution efficiency. Currently the aristocrats in reinvestment are giving us 150k on sub rice patties, and if you swap to homesteading, the ownership will change from being just aristocrats to be aristocrats and farmers, and you will lose an enormous amount of investment pool potential. So this is why we're not doing it. Now, you could do it. I think it's not as good, but like it's not insane either. Is there any merit to acquiring Madagascar? I don't. Madagascar is one I probably underutilize. It has a ton of wood, but wood's not really the problem for us at this point. We're not passing a. Yeah, we should be using our authority here. Okay, let's take a look at maybe what we want to do. If you're not using this, or like we want to be using it, but we could maybe try and bolster the trade unionists. I just don't think that's going to do anything for us for a while. So let's tax transportation and also porcelain. So we'll up this for a second so we can go in on porcelain. And then back down. And then maybe some of this. And then maybe some of this. And that's the rest of them. Cool. You love to see it. Alright, so we're gonna look where we don't have a lot of upkeep on these things. So we see Hunan, so we're gonna take a closer look at Hunan. And see if there's actually any iron there. What did we just research? Son of a bizzle. Oh, so this is why it's cheap, but there's no iron here, so we're going to specifically look for places that have iron. Yeah, we're already building in all of them. Jeez, that sucks. We could maybe do some of these out here, but I don't think... maybe... We'll just throw in one or so here. So, Southern Manchuria... Northern Manchuria has a bit of infra. This is the primary thing we're looking at, is we're looking at infra. Shaanxi has a bit of infra. So why don't we just do some of that in Shaanxi. And we'll kick these to the front of the queue. So we want to be running actually a deficit as we try and increase the construction as much as possible. This is auto-expanding. We're going to add a few more. Do we have the resource decree down there? We probably could. We're going to run out of infrastructure pretty soon here, though, which is unfortunate. How much infrastructure do we have here? Not a lot. Damn. Where's the next most populous state? I forget how we check this. Southern Hui? Alright. You don't have any infrastructure. We're looking for the next most populous state because we want to add another university level 21. Hainan, Chongqing, Qing. Oh, did they already put in here? Let's see let's see where we have unemployment. Oh my god, they haven't changed this yet. We really don't want it to be job seekers. I thought that was already in. Okay, so we have a lot of unemployed here as well, and we have paper here already. So we're just gonna wait. Let's check the infrastructure. We have a ton of infrastructure, so we are just going to. I forget that they changed where this was in the interface. We're just gonna do some of this. We're gonna start 21ing some unis. Also try and catch up on tech. So that's gonna be a very big, like, the construction's not a problem. The problem is that we don't have production methods we want. Opium crisis is almost over. We're probably going to conclude the stream when the opium crisis finishes. But we don't... If you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it. We could subjugate Brunei, maybe. Kind of tempting. How much longer do we have? Okay. Let's catch up on the chat a little bit. I hope they remove art school from private buildings. They get built everywhere. Is serfdom not forcing all your labor to be in sub-farms? I thought getting rid of serfdom was important to mass industrialize. It is important. We just want to get rid of it by going tenant farmers. I mean, I suppose we could try and do that now, but we're trying to cement in the Confucian scholars a little bit. Let's just take a look at what it looks like. But that is correct. We have to lower taxes to be legitimate here. But we kind of don't want to lose this bonus at the moment. Getting rid of serfdom is important, though. Serfdom really kills qualifications, but we're offsetting that with universities. We just have so much money that we can kind of afford this type of thing. And we maybe want to wait for agitators or better IG leaders than, like, what we have going. I mean, we can do it. It would be really nice if, for example, we had an abolitionist Confucian scholar. Then we would probably just do it right away. We also have this. These guys support tenant farmers. Well, they already kind of support it relative, but... we will come on up at here. Alright, nice. Now we already prepped this a little bit by building... yeah, a little bit more... we gotta reset PMs here. And now... I don't think we could quite do it until some of this iron or this coal finishes, but we have the coal in the queue right now. I thought we were a little bit closer to done with it. Once it finishes, then we get to swap up. We're on 3+12 right now. I think you finished lathe. Oh, we did finish lathe. You're right. You're right. We'll import lead on a temporary basis. Yikes. But we'll also put some of it in the queue. Yikes. I think we'll also put this lead on auto expand. That's going to be a pretty big... lathe is a pretty big one, especially because we already have so many of these buildings. We'll do this. Just waiting for some of these to finish, and then we'll swap over all these iron mines as well. I think we'll put... oh no, wait, there was one iron mine we didn't want on auto expand, so we'll keep it like how it is. It says it's profitable. We have 5 coal mines. Maybe we can swing it now. We can't swing it. We'll import from... I guess whoever's most productive, the Belgians. Nice. Line infantry. Now begins the tedious line infantry swap. You love to see it, except you kind of feel pressed when you see it. Kind of feel a little pressed, stress pressed and depressed. The truth hurts, etc. Mostly, etc. I wish there was a upgrade all button. That would be swell. Jesus, I just used the word swell. This must really be a problem if I'm resorting to swell. But that's going to greatly positively affect our ability to fight kind of anyone. But we just have a little bit longer on the opium. But, I mean, if you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it. We're about to not be using it, so I think we go after Versat here. We'll take a little bit of a save before we do. I suppose things could get apocalyptic with the UK, but very unlikely. And I think we might subjugate in the near future. Let's just do that. I think we want a bunch more boats. So we know Shazhou is going to have a boating thing, and this place has a boating thing, and this place has a boating bonus, and then we'll come in, and we'll industries, military shipyards, build, and then port. Build. Back of the queue, build. Alaska's got a different problem. And we get the end of addiction. We are absolute. Manchu, we stop being obsessed with opium. I guess we kind of want that. Harmony. Plus minimum wealth. Or authority. I think we'll take the minimum wealth here. We get a little bit more of this stuff anyways. And then I think we are going to put in... Yeah, we're already got the two kind of ones we want there. At least for now. We'll put in tax on luxury clothes, I think. And I guess we'll conquer Transvaal and then College Street probably. Is there any colonization as Qing? Not yet. We're working on it. We're trying to get to railroads, and then colonization is probably the next thing we research, to be honest. Unfortunately, we don't have an ingress into Kenya. Let's take a look at our declared interest, though. Let's put one in Congo. Let's put one in North India. We can get rid of the Rhine one and instead prefer this France one and North Germany. Because that's where the capitals are, so if we intervene, it's going to be nice. Great Qing stabilizes, big nice. We notably, coming in here, we have 90% Mappy here. Why did we click on the local good? 90% because of the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. So this is just super, super nice for us. In just a few years we get to here. We'll have to put this one in the episode with the run. It'll be a little bit weird that it's like on stream, but yeah, I guess it's just we can't rearrange the things. This war should be diced up pretty quick. On the top of the list, choosing to build buildings, there is a setting to change between useless job seekers and Chad Pleasance employed. Is there? Okay, you're right. We wrong. Alright, the unemployed is actually the most critical one to get rid of, so we'll actually... This is the heuristic we're going to use more than any other one, so hang on. Because they get, like, significant penalties. Do you want our help, brother? Bankroll? Alright, buddy. This is based on our income, my guy. France is ruined. Alright. Okay, so, let's see where we have low upkeep. And infrastructure is kind of the biggest problem here. We'll do something like that. Atmospheric engine is complete. Perhaps there's a better way. Water tube. Mechanical tools is going to require loud cars outside, so we are going to... build steel in Shaanxi, Beijing. I think southern Manchuria is the better one, but outer is going to have access to a couple ports. And Yunnan, let's do that. Just put that in the queue. Flick it in. Wait, where's our construction sectors? Why, what idiot put this in the back of the queue? I would like to talk to a manager. Let's see. Do you prefer to roll admiral or general for a preferred politician? It doesn't make a difference. I do both. It doesn't make a strong difference to me. I suppose the admiral slot, I think, is less important to have effective admirals in, and so I guess it would be preferred to roll in an admiral. Riley says, what's with the chat and their super serious question? What's with the chat and their super serious questions? I thought we all here to meme and min-max the game. What happened to my anime profile pic brethren? You're alone, my friend, I'm sorry. So tenant farming is greater than homesteading in your opinion? In the context of Qing specifically, yes. I think we'll probably round up a few questions, and then we will call this an episode, and then we will use this, where we are now, to kind of continue our Qing run. Can we reduce your autonomy? No, not yet. Okay. Oh no, we're at war. We are at war, except we don't have to, we can just see our way out of this one, and they will still bankroll us. Which will also notably give us positive relations, so this is super cool. And then can we reduce your autonomy? And you will accept. Cool. We can. If you're not using your infamy decay, you're losing it. So we'll just finish up the chat questions, I think. Man, there's 150 of you in here. Holy snaps. Maybe we should continue. Alright, we're going to run a little bit of a poll if people would prefer to see this run partially on stream, or if they want to see the next episode in terms of, I'll probably be able to do it tonight if I swap. So do we want to stream or YouTube video? So we could continue streaming maybe for another hour or two on this run, or we could do YouTube. Video. And then I'll finish answering questions in either case. Let's see. What's the forced diplomatic play option when trying to conquer straits? It automatically forces a diplo play, so if you have more than one war goal that you need to put in, you do that one because they have a chance of backing down. Move the capital this run? We did not. I figured most people would not want to move the capital, so we're trying to do a little bit of a run that's like maybe a little bit more people's speed. But I think moving the capital to Jiangxi is definitely reasonable. We could even move it there later. Notably, if you move it here, you're basically saying I don't want to have a revolution, because if you, landlocked capitals are worse when you're having a rev. So like you're saying I'm not afraid of a revolution. But to be fair, you're much less likely to have a rev with Qing than like anyone else, because the Confucian scholars, man, they're coming down in clout. We might actually even just, let's actually just kind of peruse and see if we can maybe up their stuff a little bit. So. Looking for Confucian scholar guys is the thing. And we only see scholar officials, the truth hurts. Alright. My kingdom for Confucian scholar. Alright, whatever. We'll continue answering the questions. It looks like people are preferring video. Okay, so we'll probably do that. Do you know what they changed to make it possible for America to get market liberal like we used to? I tried for approximately 1 hour and it's impossible. And corn laws is not doable because you start off with trade law at start. So in order to roll a market liberal, first of all, you need to have the stock exchange technology, which they definitely do. And you have much higher weighting towards doing it if you have above a level 10 urban center, which the U.S. does not start with, if I recall correctly. I think New York starts at like 8 or something like this. They're 10 here, so maybe they built up a little bit. And so what I'd recommend doing is building up New York until you get to level 10, and then, only then, making that kind of swap. God bless the guy who noticed the drop down, basically, based. How do you make your pops consume more automobiles? The automobile is a trap. You don't want to use that PM. It's a bait. It's, like, bad. It's bad unless you have, like, an obscene amount of peasants. Is kind of the... but how to make them use more of it? Produce less transportation would do it, because the way that substitution works, it's based on production in the market, not on price. And so if you have more automobiles relative to transportation, they will want to consume more automobiles. 10-hour stream again? No. the vote for the videos seems to be winning, so we're gonna try and get out maybe another Qing video tonight, being like kind of episode 3, and we'll put this one sandwich in the beginning, or maybe we'll do it tomorrow morning. Maybe that's a little bit better, and try and do a tutorial tonight, this type of thing. You're the biggest Vic 3 streamer, thank you. Also, the truth hurts, because that means there's like, yeah, Vic 3 doesn't have too much content creation. Chat is the big reason why democracy sucks. Yeah, there's that, like, there's, like, the video of the Islamic guy who's like, democracy is government by the people, for the people, but the problem is that the people are the hard R idiots. Yeah. Yeah. It's an 8. Generalist, in your opinion, the game should be more and more realistic, or should balancing it to make it doable with any nation? In your game, should the game be more and more realistic way, or just try to balance it to make it more doable with a nation? I mean, I think that you want to make it so people can do cool things. I mean, it's a game, right? It's not a simulator. Which I think sometimes gets lost in translation when people want increasingly... Like, so some people want the construction queue to be entirely controlled by capitalists, which would be a better simulation, right? But if the queue is entirely controlled by capitalists, what exactly is the player supposed to do here? Because we can't move around units on the map anymore, right? So, like, Vicky 2... had, like, it was almost entirely capitalist controlled, but also you could move stuff around on the map. So, like, the player has to have something to do. And so this is an example of, like, how sometimes the desire to simulate is at odds with making a fun game. And I think a lot of people like to play these meme countries, and so making it unplayable, I think, would not be good. However, making the AI better, I think, would be good. Right now, the AI really sucks, so, like, and if the AI gets better, meme countries should get harder. But, like, right now, you can, like... I don't think there's a single country, really... I think it's pretty easy to become the #1 great power as any country. So... You know... That should maybe not be possible. Like, you could start out as, like, Buganda and become the #1 GP, and maybe that should be, like, impossible or hard or this type of thing. I think it was a Hindu guy that said that. Oh, it was a Hindu guy? Maybe. To be fair, there's a lot of Islamic... Or, no, wait. Okay. No, you're right. There's not a lot of Islamic Hindus. There's a lot of people who are Muslim in India, but there's not a lot of Islamic Hindus. To be fair, I have to get off stream soon, so you prefer a video right now. You prefer a video right now? That's not one of the options. Now the stream is winning? Oh, man. I think we're gonna... The stream's barely winning, though. So we're still gonna do a video, because, to be honest, the stream is also gonna have a bias. There's, like, a self-selection bias here. The people who like streams more are going to be the ones who are voting in the stream, right? And, like, if I made a poll on a video or something, which isn't something you can do, they'd be more likely to vote for a video. So I think my overall viewership would prefer a video, if it's this close, at least. Do you think a Vic 3 should go back to Vic 2 with sliders with poor, middle, and rich, so we can better screw the poor off the bat? Except it's the opposite. You want to actually screw the rich. Like, this is, how, like, the way our consumption tax strategy is almost entirely, like, to tax the rich here as much as we can without disaffecting the poor. Look, 0 consumption tax. Just a little bit for the middle strata, so. Circassia seems really hard. Yeah, the landlocked one? Yeah, maybe Circassia is, like, yeah. You just need an Indian territory achievement. That one's real hard. If you're playing someone who is, like, can't get coastal access, the game gets way, way harder. Coming back to the game after playing it an hour when it came out, I play other Paradox games but never played Victoria. What's a good starting country? I think you should play Russia. I think Russia's a good one for learning the game. Russia's really powerful. You have a lot of pops. You get to interact with the political system because your laws start out, like, relatively backwards. you can cheese it by getting a market liberal guy in like in the first couple of years, but you don't have to do that. And you, if you're new, you probably don't know how to do that. But they have they have access to kind of every resource. I think they have access to sulfur. I think they have sulfur somewhere. Here, let's take a quick look. Where do we have our sulfur thing? There we go. Let's show potentials. So I think they don't have a lot of sulfur. The truth hurts. But other than that, they kind of have everything. I would normally recommend Belgium, but France gets very aggressive towards Belgium these days, so like I think they're not a good starter nation. Japan also is a decent shout, because you start out isolationist, and so you get to learn the economic systems. People try and open your market though. The AI is much more aggressive towards Japan, so maybe that's going to be a little bit of a one. Looks like stream's not winning by that much anymore. We're just answer. I mean, I guess this is kind of Q&A at the end. As long as I still have unanswered chat questions, I'm going to keep going. But yeah, it just feels like other countries don't advance nearly enough. I started out as Qing and somehow managed to beat everyone else in the world to electricity. I mean, the problem is how you get innovation. Is like the cost of innovation is linear because it's just building universities, and so the cost is constant, but the benefits are exponential because when we research or when we finish, like, when we finish atmospheric engine, this is going to be more valuable the more mines we have, and there's nothing, it does not take more universities to get more value out of having more mines, and so what ends up happening is that it's just a matter of like having a sufficiently large economy, and then eventually you just like pop off really hard. Now we are limited as Qing in terms of our active like research because it's going to be very hard for us. We're going to have a hard time, relatively speaking, you know, being a leader in this type of thing. But like once we've finished railways, we could just click compression ignition if we wanted and just not spread everything else and just get compression ignition first. Yeah. People who like videos aren't here, well, can't vote. Yeah, this is basically the point I was making when I said there was a self-selection bias. The people who like streams are already here, and the people who hate streams are not going to be here. Transbachial, yeah. I played as Japan today, and there was no anime pillow factory uninstall time. No wonder the GDP is so low. Japan is the best for learning economy since there will be no hand-holding with trade. Yeah, the people will not dump any types of... It lets you learn like the economic systems and how everything kind of feeds into each other. So I think Japan is good on that front. But I think that normally Japan and Belgium were kind of the old recommendations, but if the AI is going to be really aggressive towards you as Japan, there's really not a whole lot you can do to fight back, and Belgium can't fight France if you're like not that experienced, and so it becomes like maybe a hard one. Prussia's an interesting one if you want to like diplo around and try and do you know, their unification type stuff. I think that Prussia would be decent to play. And then what do you expect the direction to be the game should take? In my opinion, I miss the old influence thing of Victor 3, but I don't know how to modernize it in the game. Well, I think first and foremost, the thing that... they need to fix the current problems with 1.5, but I think they're working on it. But secondly, on game release, I think there were 3 really big problems with the game. One of those was the UI was absolutely terrible. Now it's much better. It used to be the case that there wasn't a way to see how much infrastructure you had, and there was no private queue at all. So you would have no idea where you could build, and then you would have to search for which areas didn't have enough infra, and then you would have to build railways there by hand. It was just so disgustingly tedious on release, and the UI is fine now. I wouldn't call it spectacular, but it's fine. So the UI is fixed. The military was the next thing that was just like really bad with like front splitting and like having to micromanage it. And I think that this system's better. It doesn't seem as micromanaging heavy. It seems more decision rich with like this type of stuff going on. And it seems, well, maybe it's not decision rich as it should be, but maybe this is okay. And I think that this is an improvement, and I would say that the military is okay now. And so the last thing to be fixed is the diplomatic play just sucks ass, and it's like the worst thing about the game, and it's like why I think the game's unplayable on Iron Man right now. I think it's just like absolutely unplayable on Iron Man. And maybe we'll swap to playing Iron Man if people want us to when they fix the diplomatic plays, but right now they're completely psychotic. They're just very opaque. People who you've had like a long-standing good relationship with, that you have an alliance with or a defense pact, or like people will just like cheese join against you over like the stupid, most asinine stuff. And especially Russia, when you're in their customs union, they really go after you, it feels like, in particular. I don't know if that's like hard-coded to Russia or we're just imagining things. Hey, maybe we go for Bolivia, to be honest, here. We'll put down an interest. I think it's exactly 10 years into the game they do it, so we have, yeah, I guess now's at the time. But I think that once they fix the diplomatic plays, I would love to see a massive, like, system for cultures that's, like, I imagine it as a whole nother tab here, and you influence the system indirectly, and it gives pops more of, like, a feeling of, like, depth and soul having, rather than being, like, disembodied laborers that happen to support certain interest groups. And so this is the biggest change I would want to see, following kind of the fixing of diplomacy, let's call it, which they're doing in 1.6. So... As Belgium, you can go into Great Britain's customs union and build in peace. Kind of. Once the... Well, I mean, yeah, you can play like that. But, like, you might not want to play inside someone's customs union. I think playing inside someone's customs union is not good for learning the game. But you could, like, you can get the UK to defend you. Yeah. But, like, France wanting to annex you is a bit of a problem. What would you expect the direction that the game should take, in my opinion? Okay, we already answered that. Losing the Japan war is fine, though. The first one, at least. Well, sometimes they also just want to take, like, 3 provinces from you, too, and that's kind of rough. Okay, I'll check out Russia first. Is it possible to play without conquering? Yeah, Russia you can play without conquering. You'll probably run out of sulfur, though, at some point, but you can import it. If you're not really, like, used to expanding construction wildly, you probably won't really want to run out of resources too much your first playthrough. Alexis says, do you know if the minus 1,000 internal conflict modifier in Qing when trying to pull them into a market will go away at one point? I believe you have to decay them from being a major power, which is incredibly hard to do. You have to make them an unrecognized minor power, based on what I read on the dev diary, which I think is an improvement. Played 50 years and they still had it, and they had it in your last 3 campaigns. Yeah, I think that's just there to stay. I think Great Qing joining people's markets is just warping and strange, and they shouldn't do it. And so I'm happy that they ostensibly won't be doing it. Is it worth it to integrate subjects? Integrating Norway as Sweden just crashed your economy because of the revolt. I think it's worth it to integrate subjects, but not if you with here. What do we save? And swap to Sweden. With Sweden specifically, I think that you should, we come into the Cultures tab. I think you specifically should not annex Norway. You should just reduce their autonomy to being a puppet and then not annex them, because you want to annex them by forming Scandinavia. With the specifics of Sweden. Hopefully they fix diplo plays as well as adding foreign investment for spheres of influence. Yeah. Also, doesn't Siam and Sokoto start with isolationism? They do. So, like, if you have a bunch of infamy, and you want to find a war that's useful, that doesn't give you any infamy, opening Japan's market, Siam's market, and Sokoto's market are actually pretty useful. These are the biggest isolated countries. Like, Ethiopian countries also start out isolated. I think all these guys start out isolated, but they're, like, not worth messing around with in terms of the size of their economy, so it's not going to be really worth it. I agree, it's okay, but I wonder, thanks for the answer. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just, like, it was super annoying every game when Qing would join Russia's market. It created this, like, weird situation, where they would just, like, hug box every game, and it was, like, it felt bad to play against, and it didn't feel like a good simulation either. Like, The UK thumbing everyone's pie, it feels at the very least like a good simulation. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. We will be back with this run, and by this run I mean with Great Qing. We will be back in video, continuing on, and we will not be merging any of the armies or deleting any of the armies. I am guessing this is what causes the problem, which kind of sucks. But, I mean, we can just... I think we can rename the armies, I think we can delete infantry and stuff out of them, and so we will just reorganize armies. Or we won't delete any of these armies, maybe we'll delete new armies, I'm not exactly sure what drives the bug. I also think they're going to hotfix it on Monday or Tuesday. I have great faith in the devs. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and have a good day. And we will be concluding the stream as soon as I click the button. Bye-bye now.